29 yards, by the way, was the long play today for this Minnesota offense. Cousins, he's got it, touchdown, it's Osborne again, and Minnesota is in front with 45 seconds to play.
Will get beat in man-to-man. Hardman throws it into double coverage, knocked down by Wiggins. Terrorized most of the day, and an emotional win for the Clemson Tigers.
Edge with Chubb and with Gregory.
Second and 10 from his own end zone.
Garoppolo's
out of the end zone. It's a safety. Remember, Orlovsky did that. Stepped all the way out of the end zone. It's a safety, and that kills the play before everything else on the pick. So it is 7-5. And
Oh, this is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, and sports outcomes investing. You can see on your screen right there, number 69, nice. Mike McGlinchey. I didn't know that Mike McGlinchey played with the bar down in the middle of his face. What a nerd. On today's show, football, NASCAR, baseball. Football, NASCAR, baseball. Okay. Like, rate, review, subscribe if you enjoy the pod. Giving me 5 stars on Apple will help other people find it. Yeah. So, nobody makes a boring Sunday night football game more boring than Mike Tirico. Listen to this call. It's a safety where a historic play by Dan Orlovsky was outdone. Kind of, not really. I mean, Dan's was stupider and Detroit was a worse team, so this will just be funny. But his thing was, like, historic. That's where he took, as a quarterback, he took a pass, he took the snap and dropped back and eventually just, like, ran out of the back of the end zone. Jimmy G did the same thing.
second and 10 from his own end zone. Garoppolo's out of the end zone. It's a safety.
And then it was a pick six eventually and stuff. So listen to what Tirico says.
With Chubb and with Gregory.
Second and 10 from his own end zone.
Garoppolo's
out of the end zone. It's a safety. Remember, Dan Orlovsky did that. Stepped all the way out of the end zone. It's a safety, and that kills the play before everything else on the pick.
So first thing he does is like, oh, that's a safety. Terrible. And then he's like, Dan Orlovsky did that. Just that's what Chris Collinsworth says. Just call the play, Mike. And then Denver got a pick six on the play, but the safety makes it a dead ball situation, and he just tells us, like, dude,
it's a safety, and that kills the play.
Shut up, you fucking nerd. He somehow did the job of both the ref guy and Chris Collinsworth without doing his own job. God, he really sucks. I hate him. And for the third week in a row, Sunday Night Football was an utter disaster, a total bummer. I'll be honest with you. Thursday Night Football has taken over the mantle for Sunday Night Football. It's just a better product. Everything about it is better. And so that's the game we're going to start. We'll take a look at what happened around the National Football League yesterday. We opened with Minnesota and Detroit. Detroit led the entire way into the fourth quarter. Minnesota on 1st and 10, I believe. About a 35-yard pass from Kirk Cousins to KJ Osborne. I'd say Detroit, Minnesota was the best game of the day. Buffalo, they fall on the road to Miami. Josh Allen has an enormous mistake on 4th and goal inside the 3-yard line. Just a terrible, awful throw. It was a situation, it was one of those routes where the running back kind of leaks out to the flat, and he was there, and Allen just kind of got nervous and threw it short and backed up and didn't get it. There were safeties, a Garoppolo safety on Sunday Night Football as the Niners lose to the Broncos 11-10. Holy shit. I literally think that there were 2 touchdowns in the game. There was that safety. It was gross, awful, stupid game. And then the Dolphins look good. What will come out of the Dolphins game that you have to talk about is Tua Tagovailoa appeared to get a pretty nasty concussion. He thought his back was hurt, but he looked like he was pretty wobbly. So what happened was it was a roughing the passer penalty against Buffalo where they take a couple extra steps and just shove him, but he fell down. And when he fell down, he looked like he landed pretty hard in the back of his head, like, when you stumble backwards and your head just whips back and hits the ground. He appeared to have a concussion. They took him off, and then he says he didn't have a concussion. Well, the NFL is looking into why he was able to return, how that they cleared him. Did it actually happen? Miami beats Buffalo. They're 3-0. Big 3-0 from them. A couple 3-0 teams, a couple 2-1 teams making things pretty interesting. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady threw down for, I think, the 3rd time that they've been in the league together, and Rodgers got the better of Brady in another game that was just garbage. It sounds like something was going on in the Jumbotron. This is what Rodgers had to say after the game, and about why the Packers weren't able to, or the Packers were able to get a strategic advantage just by watching the Jumbotron.
Too. It was a delay on both plays. But sometimes you see things in the game. Sometimes the Jumbotron shows things they probably shouldn't show, even at home.
This is hilarious. I don't know. I didn't watch that game. I was watching the Rams and the Cardinals and the Chargers and the Jaguars. And speaking of that, the Jags are good. I'm telling you right now, there's never been a head coach with a better resume and better situation than Doug Peterson. He is objectively the best hire, maybe of all time in the NFL. There has never been a coach with that resume who got fired for sillier reasons that was on the open market than Doug Peterson. He's amazing. The Jaguars go into L.A. and they just demolish the L.A. Chargers, which I found kind of interesting. Other interesting games, I think the Colts, I had my gambling situation appears to have cooled off. Other than the Lions against the spread, Dan Campbell spread god, undefeated against the spread this year. Big story over the weekend. The Eagles are going to be power ranked the number one team in the NFL today, and a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, the Eagles, just pencil them in for the Super Bowl. I have been on the Eagles all year. They're the best roster in the NFL. They have one weakness. That weakness is quarterback, but that quarterback is also an elite running back. So as long as he doesn't get hurt. But oh my God, the most Philly thing ever would be to replicate what they did in 2017, where they just kind of accidentally were good. Their MVP quarterback gets hurt, and then the backup steals the show, and their backup is electrifying. It's Gardner Minshew, which is just hilarious. The Colts were 0-2, trying to avoid 0-3. They do. The Chiefs, I had the Chiefs as the mortal lockiest lock that's ever locked. Nope. Chiefs lose on the road 20-17. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I swear to God, have cold weekends on the same weekend all the time. It's like a thing. They love each other. They are the new Brady and Manning. For sure. The Texans and the Bears tried to outboring each other, and the Texans outboring the Bears. The Bears win the game 23-20. The Bears are 2-1. With a loss to the Packers in what was essentially a practice, Justin Fields looked like ass. But the Bears hold on to win. The Jaguars 2-1 with their enormous win over the Chargers. Brandon Staley, can you get the job done? The Los Angeles Rams storyline that you need to watch from this game is the Rams are bad. The Cardinals are just worse. And the Falcons are just worse. But the Rams are bad. I thought that was a losable game for the Rams. The other team that's bad in that division are the Niners. That division is actually just might be bad. Must-win game for the Niners. Remember, Sean McVay has only beaten Kyle Shanahan once, and it was the game where the Niners dropped that insane interception. Then we got the Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Niners again. So we'll see what happens to the Rams. I think they can find themselves. Let's see. It's possible to be 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2. They got the Bucs and the Cardinals. But then the second half of the year, their schedule is where this is where they're going to start dropping games. They finish with their last 8 games are going to be Saints, Chiefs, Seahawks, Raiders, Packers, Broncos, Chargers, Seahawks. I think they're going to win. They're going to lose like 5 of those games. I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. That's just my 2 cents. The game you didn't watch, that's the new segment I'm going to try. Just give you some storylines from the game that you didn't watch. Which game didn't you watch? No one watched Ravens-Patriots, I think. No. People probably watch Ravens-Patriots. All right, from Ravens-Patriots, the storyline is this. Mac Jones is not the guy. Lamar Jackson might kind of be, but maybe not. Joe Flacco still sucks is another good storyline. The Ravens beat the Patriots 37-26, and the Patriots are 1-2, and it looks bad. But they scored in this game. Mac Jones now leads the league in interception, tied for the league lead in interceptions. Also tied for the league lead in interceptions is Jameis Winston. A couple teams that really, 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 really needed a win. Otherwise, shit was about to get bad were the Colts and the Panthers. The Colts, of course, beat the Chiefs. The Panthers beat the Saints, and it turns out that when your head coach, his assistant head coach, your offensive coordinator, your defensive backs coach, and your Hall of Fame quarterback are all gone within a 2-year period, that things are tough. And I think are the Saints 1-2? Yeah, the Saints are 1-2, right? Or are they 2-1? I actually don't know. I think the Saints are 1-2, and they lose on the road to the Panthers. Yeah, that entire division is 1-2. The Panthers are 1-2. The Saints are 1-2. The Falcons get their first win of the year on the road in Seattle. But the Saints and Panthers game is interesting also because Jameis Winston threw 2 picks. So now we have a race. Matthew Stafford cracks me up. Who leads the league in interceptions? Well, it's a 3-way tie between Mac Jones, Jameis Winston, and Matthew Stafford. J.J. Watt playing his ass off this year. He looks pretty good. Yeah, we're just going over NFL storylines. Let's go take a look at some other stuff. Here's the Josh Allen throw I mentioned where he just kind of, this is bad. Watch it. So there he is. Look how short that guy's open. It's 4th down. So the Bills were down, I believe, 2. That was a 4th and goal. Bad. They had another possession and they weren't able to get up and spike it, and it was a whole mess, but that was bad. Bad situation. Let's check out what's going on with the Chargers. They look completely confused. Brandon Staley, defensive head coaches, I'm telling you right now, they are literally all the same.
Robinson, left side, has the first down, and there he goes. 30, 20, 10, touchdown Jacksonville.
Man, big home run there for James Robinson. He looks great. The Jags look great. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rihanna, the Caribbean Latina super megastar, musician, philanthropist, and fashion icon, will be headlining the Super Bowl in Arizona. That's a tough one. There were rumors all Friday. We weren't going to talk about it because Taylor Swift is just so good at starting rumors. It's insane how good she is in marketing. Just preposterously a marketing genius. She really is. Allegedly, she turned it down. Allegedly, she was never offered. Allegedly. I'm sure they asked her. She wanted more money, maybe. Because I heard a rumor that some people in the Super Bowl halftime show don't get paid. It's like a marketing opportunity. That's why they go with these old people, because the old people will get paid, and it's better. Like, remember The Weeknd? I heard he did it for free, or they paid him, or he paid them or something. I don't really remember. Rihanna, Super Bowl halftime show 2023 in Arizona. Arizona Super Bowl halftime show is going to be tough because the sun will be up during halftime, I think. It'll be bad. Okay, so let's move on to a little college football. We'll get through some college football. Remember, tomorrow, instead of going over the games, we'll find a couple deeper storylines for you. There are some things I'm looking into. The Tua thing will be interesting. Maybe have some injury news from Minnesota, maybe some injury news from Cincinnati. We'll see how it goes. It looks like it could be bad. All right, college football over the weekend, some big storylines. Remember how I said every year there's this team that's in a Power 5 conference that's never really good, but they just end up being good, and they'll win 8 or 9 or 10 games. They'll sniff the top 10, and they'll just hang around. Drum roll, please. Is it Tennessee? No. They're actually like a pretty good program. They'll lose 4 games before it's all said and done. Is it Florida? No, Tennessee beat them. The team that's going to piss everybody off this year, without a doubt, is Minnesota. Minnesota went on the road to Michigan State and absolutely curb stomped Michigan State, who just paid like $1 bazillion to their coach, with whom they're obsessed, by the way. Barstool Sports did an investigation of the top 24, the top 10 teams from last year, and how often they tweeted pictures of their head coach. The average was 3.5 pictures of their head coach in the offseason. Michigan State had 28 pictures of their head coach. That's the kind of data I'm here for. New Mexico State, Western Illinois, and Colorado. Good teams? No. But like Alabama and Georgia and Clemson, these guys annihilated those teams. 38-0, 62-10, 49-7. Western Illinois is the only team to score more on more than one possession. What I mean is like 7 points for Colorado, 0 for New Mexico State, 7 for Michigan State. Western Illinois scored 10. And the touchdown that Western Illinois scored was in garbage time in the fourth quarter. Minnesota is legit. That's the team this year that everybody needs to be paying attention to. I'm telling you right now. Those are the guys that are going to be pissing everybody off when if they play like that, they're going to destroy Wisconsin. They're going to destroy Wisconsin. Wisconsin got destroyed by Ohio State. That game's the same every time. This time, Ohio State didn't even screw around. They just threw it on them. Wisconsin has a lot of BYU vibes, a lot of big dudes, a lot of old dudes, a lot of manly dudes. No fast dudes, ever. Teams with speed are always going to beat them. The game of the weekend, without a doubt, was Arkansas, Texas A&M. So every year, Florida and Georgia play the world's largest outdoor quote-unquote sobriety festival. That's what they're rebranding it now because of all of the binge drinking. That game takes place in Jacksonville. So Jared Jones, not to be outdone, plays Texas A&M and Arkansas in Dallas every year, which makes sense. And he's an Arkansas alum, of course. Well, Arkansas was in total control of this game. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Their Heisman-ish candidate quarterback, KJ Jefferson, going in for the score, reaches the ball over the goal line. And, yeah, there's a reason Bill Belichick fines guys for doing that.
KJ's going to run it again. Diving, fumbles the ball, and Chappelle's got it. Tyreek Chappelle in the
He handed it off. Look at him.
Hands it off to Richardson. Here he goes. Wow! Can you believe this? What a turn!
And A&M right there, that was Arkansas was going in to make it 21-7 or at least 17-7. A&M gets the touchdown. They end up winning. It was an electrifying game. It was the game of the weekend in college football as far as I'm concerned. We opened with Clemson and Wake Forest. That was right down the road, about a 25-minute walk from me. And that game was electrifying. Also, Wake Forest is just good, man. I thought that they should have had College game day. Other interesting stuff, Kansas State beat Oklahoma on the road. They're in the AP Top 25s, which means that Kansas, who beat Duke and is now 4-0, Kansas is unofficially ranked 26th. Kansas State is ranked 25. The differences in votes is like 2 23rd place votes. Oh, man. Oklahoma's still in the top 25 after dropping 12 spots. Other interesting scores from college football and the interesting scoring. I told you, I'm much better this last week of betting college football, and that's annoying to me. Because I like betting pro football more, but I told you that Notre Dame over North Carolina was a lock. That's the kind of game that they're going to win. That when they play schools with speed and a quarterback, Notre Dame is going to lose. When they play schools that are soft on defense in the trenches, they're going to win. Notre Dame can't score. They can't play 21st century football. They just don't have a quarterback. It's like, let's just look at their schedule. So Notre Dame's on an off week. They have a bye. They're going to destroy BYU. It's in Provo. They'll destroy them. Yeah. But then they have like Syracuse. Yeah, Syracuse I'd be scared of. Stanford and USC. I mean, definitely USC. I don't know. That's going to be bad. But they'll be BYU. That'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Great to see that Notre Dame not receiving any votes for the top 25. But North Carolina is. What the fuck are we doing? This is the AP Top 25. Absolutely cracks me up. Washington making big moves. Washington State had Oregon on the ropes. Oregon pulls it out of their ass. They're looking pretty good. Pac-12 hanging on. They got schooled by the SEC in the first week. Utah and Florida and Oregon and Georgia, but that happens. Utah having the balls to go to the swamp, and I think that we're getting paid a lot of money to do that. I really appreciate that. Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. playing in Louis Vuitton cleats and an Apple Watch. I do hate this. I don't want to get off my lawn, but you can't have a fucking Apple Watch during a game, bro. Yeah, that would actually piss me off. We got to investigate that. But the Louis V cleats, you do you, man. All right, let's get to a NASCAR fight. I'm just going to show the clip. There was a fight in NASCAR, and, man, of all of the clips, he's punching the shit out of this dude who's stuck in his car. Look at him. Kick that car, dude. He's actually really mad. You can watch this on Spotify. You can watch it on YouTube. So it's in a pit crew thing, and it looks like another driver got out of his car and is punching a guy through the hole where the window would be if it were a real car. And look at him. He's just like going after it, just punching through the window. Get the... Yeah, this doesn't do a lot for NASCAR's... the way all of us think about NASCAR. Absolutely hysterical. Man, NASCAR gonna NASCAR. Oh, man. All right, well, let's get out of here. We'll get out of here with this. Roger Federer retired and played his last exhibition match. And there he is. But if we zoom out in the background, Rafa Nadal can't help himself from crying. One of the greatest tandems in professional sports history, personal rivalries, and Djokovic coming up late is annoying. But Rafa and Federer are... Yeah, this is like a childhood thing. Like, man, Rafa and Federer's done. I remember a time when him and Tiger won everything, man. Crazy. Gotta love that. He's not the enemy, he's the opposition. That'll do it. I'm back and better than ever with more football storylines tomorrow. We got Giants and Cowboys tonight. I like the Giants to start season 3-0. I like the Giants. Take the Giants. Bye-bye.